The Hawkeye game is over, but the conversation is about to begin. It's time for the Black and Gold Rush with Travis and Ross.
All right, here we go, everybody. It is the Black and Gold Rush live from the Iowa Lottery Studios. Good to have you along as Iowa State defeats Iowa 16-13 in a classic Cy-Hawk showdown in Ames, Iowa. If you are listening on the audio stream at therushladio.com or on the Rush Radio Android app or the TuneIn app, thank you so much for dialing us in. If you're watching on YouTube this morning or this afternoon, rather, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, start leaving your comments, and you can follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. And Ross, it was a classic Iowa State football game. It wasn't pretty at times, especially offensively for both teams. Defensive battle. But Iowa State becomes the first home team to win in this series since 2018.
I said that stuff was going to break at some point. The away team always winning this game. At some point, that was going to. I was shocked when I heard that today before they started the game. Sorry, I knew it'd been a couple years. Been 2018 since the Hawks had won at Kinney. It'd been 2011 since Iowa State had won at Jack Trice. At some point that was going to break. Iowa State was the better team today. They were the more disciplined team. I don't want to hear Hawk fans bitch about the officiating in any way. The Iowa offense still can't move the football down the field. The offensive line did not do what we hoped they would do, what they needed to do. They needed to be able to control that three-man front. They needed to be able to protect Gronowski. There were times they gave him time, and there's no separation. How many... For a decade, we've been talking about this. Hawkeye receivers don't get open. Hawkeye receivers don't stay open. When we do complete passes, it's always into tight windows. And never, ever does it seem as the ball tried to move downfield. And today, that was a glaring hole that from the opening play, Iowa State is able to put 3 guys on the line, but put 8 into the box as soon as the ball is snapped, sometimes 9. So early in those drives, Travis, on first and second down, they are so committed to the run that they've got 3 guys on the line and 6 crashing the box as soon as the ball is snapped, because they know, just like all of us that have watched Iowa football forever, you're going to run the ball into the line for a little while here. So even even on those third downs, throwing the ball, 3rd and 6, throwing 5-yard outs. Frustrating game again when the Hawks lose like that. Iowa State, the better team today. That's what I would say about that also. Tip of the cap to them.
I would say the better team, but not by as much as I thought it was going to be when the game started. At one point in the first half, I thought, Iowa State could run away with this. And then when Iowa got the break with towards the end of the first half, going into the third quarter, and those offensive drives that Iowa put together, they were dominating the line of scrimmage. They were running the football effectively. I thought, Iowa just might wear them down. But then you get the ball into Rocco Beck's hand, and he goes on a long drive, takes a lot of clock off, and Conradi hits the field goal, and we have another field goal game. You're right, 100% right. Iowa State was the better team, but I will say this: Iowa played. I'm still not satisfied, but I still think Iowa played better than I thought they were going to. I wasn't giving them much credence coming into this game. I don't know why I wasn't. I was doing the eye test from a week ago, but with both teams, Iowa kind of exceeded my expectations. I know that's. I know. Yeah, my bar is pretty low, Ross. My bar is really low.
Last week the Hawkeyes won, and you came on and you're like, "Oh, that's not good enough." This week they lost. This week they made mistakes. This week they did not look impressive. Last week you could at least look at the totality of it and go, "Oh, look, third and fourth quarter they did what they're supposed to do. They became the road graders and the steamrollers. They ended up with 300 yards, right? Blah 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 blah." None of that stuff happened, and you're like, "Well, it's okay." This today was a disappointment. Mark Gronowski played a lot better than he did last week. He kept
and
playing.
Maybe that's what I'm going off of. Maybe that's what was the mental block in my head was Gronowski himself. Again, not perfect. And as this 2 hours goes along, maybe even longer, I'll probably change my tune because I've been known to do that. Of course, this is a call-in show at 515-517-2303. This is the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. We're taking your phone calls, taking your comments, all about Iowa's 16-13 loss in the Cy-Hawk game. We're going to start like we did last week out in New Jersey. Let's go to John. John, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush. What's up, man?
Travis, Ross, thanks for taking my call. Glad to be with you and kick off another episode of the Black and Gold Rush. Listen to the game as I'm in my National Logistics driving package car. And I heard Gary Dolphin say, Mark Gronowski, 12 of 21 for 77 yards. He does have an INT, but it's a breakout game, 44 yards on the ground. And I was like, a breakout game with over 111 yards of total offense for a guy that's supposedly making $2 million and takes 2 sacks when you need a field goal to tie the game on the road, supposedly won national titles and had 10,000 yards of offense. When they got the ball into Rocco Beck's hands in the fourth quarter and you knew that they had a kicker that nailed it from 63 yards, I'm like, this is lather, rinse, repeat. And guys, I had an argument 2 weeks ago on Twitter with the guy who I'm probably going to have on later, the long snapper for the Hawkeyes, Washed Up Walk-ons. And he said 8-4 this season would be a success. I want to ask you guys, do you know what the average record, if you ask Brock, what the average record since 1999 is for Iowa under Kirk Ferentz?
The average record, I'm going to say, is 8 wins.
8-4. Do you guys know what the average record is since 1979 when Hayden Fry took over?
Oh boy! Now you're going back a ways. I don't know.
You bet your sweet ass it is. That's a half decade, guys, of an average of 8-4. My entire lifetime, we've averaged 8-4. That is not the ceiling. That is the expectation. And now you're a laughing stock in college football. Nate Stanley looks like the Hawkeye offensive Moses at quarterback at this point. And we thought that he would clam up in tight moments. Anybody remember what happened with him and Noah Fant in 2018 at Penn State? But I would take Nate Stanley now over Joey Levis, Spencer Petrie Dish, and Mark Gronowski, Gronowski. What the hell are we doing, guys? You just saw who you guys replaced on the morning rush in 2010, Miller and Dace. Steve Dace famously said, you can't hide your quarterback in college football. And Iowa has shown that since we hit that deep pass from Petrie Dish to Nico Reganey in 2021 against Penn State, Iowa Hawkeye, the quarterback play, has went downhill. And it looks like a Petrie Dish. We set a record last weekend. We set a record last weekend in college football history, over 150 years. The lowest amount of passing yards by a team in a win over an FBS or 1AA opponent, 48 yards. Guys, 6-6 is probably the ceiling. 8-4 is going to be a success, but I'm not going to applaud what the expectation is and the average for the last 50 years. And boomers will be mad. Older Gen Xers will be mad. I don't give a shit. I don't.
I love John. I love this, John.
John, who hurt you? Who hurt you, John?
My Hawkeyes, because I've been perpetually disappointed. Post-COVID, the Hawkeye offense is mostly safe and effective.
John, I love it. Thanks for the call, brother. Thanks for getting us started that way.
That's the way to start the show, John.
I just love it. Those are the best players on his favorite team, and he goes Donald Trump on him. He's got nicknames for every one of them. John. Okay. All right.
And John's been passionate, and he has been for a long time. And maybe I'm just getting calloused by, this offense over the last several years that you just come to expect it. And you're like, okay, this is the way they're going to play. This is the way they're going to be. You just got to hope that they find a way out. And maybe that's the best way I can look at it, Ross, that I'm done being mad. I'm done being frustrated. It's just, it's par for the course. Am I giving up?
Yeah, I'd say you are, because let's throw a few things up here, because I think this is all part of the same conversation. Here's David. That's a delusional Iowa fan. Here's Tim. He's not wrong. I don't think it's delusional. I don't think John's delusional by any stretch. I think John's expectations are better than what we have. John is a Hawkeye fan that is like a Cyclone fan during the Dan McCarney era, who's looking around going, I want more. I want better than this. I want better than mediocrity. I want better than 8 wins. That's it. And I mean, those were great things. What's the average for Kirk Ferentz? And we both sit here and go, it'd be about 8 wins. Yeah. What was it for the 20 years prior to that? You right away. About 8 wins. Yeah, exactly. 8 wins. 8 wins. We don't want, I call that delusional. I don't think it is. And by the way, I think you can look just north at the game that just happened and go, look, you can win in Iowa. You can bring guys to Ames. Iowa State is going to be a playoff contender all year long, but it can't happen at Iowa. What?
Well, Ross, it's the recruiting base. It's the conference they play in. I mean, that's what you're going to hear.
That's what you're going to hear. The right, because everybody will go, oh, it's the conference. Of course, Iowa State, because look at the Big 12.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Story City. That's where Chad is. Chad, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on, Chad?
Travis, Ross, Chad here with Big Daddy Dick. Hey.
What's up?
And, here's the deal, guys. Well, I got to talk you guys off the ledge a little bit. I know, after last week's call, you're thinking I'm a little crazy, but I'm going to talk you off the ledge and give you a little bit of knowledge here.
Okay.
We need to chill out a little bit. We just lost to the 16th rated team in the nation.
Yes.
Right?
By
and
3.
we're not rated.
Right.
We shouldn't hang with them, but we did. And we covered the spread, 3-point spread. And, we're not looking too bad. And give our quarterback a chance.
Hold on. You shouldn't hang. You shouldn't hang with the 16th best team in the country. It's not the number 1 team, not a top 5 team. This is I agree with everything you said. I was saying,
but we're not ranked. I mean, we weren't picked to win, and we had our opportunities. We did. We didn't look like a terrible team today, did we? I mean, Ross, did we look like a terrible team today?
Didn't look like a great team. Did not look like a great team. Didn't look like the football team you had to look like.
Compared to the 16th ranked team, so you're telling me we did not look like we should hang with them? I mean, they're number 16.
But see, now you're looking for an excuse. You're using their ranking as an excuse.
I'm not looking for an excuse. What I told you last week.
Look like they shouldn't hang with them.
We don't start off hot. We finish strong. That's what we do.
So you're okay with today's performance? You're happy with the loss Iowa State? Right?
Oh, Big Daddy Dick. What's that?
So
listen, you either hand them. We can't talk to all 3 of us at the same time. All right. So you got to. If Big Daddy wants to chat, we can chat with him. But what I'm trying to tell you, you're happy with the way the game looked today. You're okay with that.
I'm not happy with the outcome. I'm happy with the progression of where we've been in the past years. I mean, I see positives on what we're doing. I mean, you look at what we did today, you're telling me that this offense looks dismal as it has in the last 3 years.
It
looks worse than we did in the last 3 years.
You just said that, Chad. You just said that. I didn't say that. I didn't say abysmal.
Well, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard from the call-ins. I mean, I heard it from you guys about how we're not doing what we need to do from the quarterback.
I would say 214 yards of total offense is abysmal. I mean, that's Brian Ferentz numbers.
You just said something, Chad. You just put words in my mouth for the first time that I'll actually agree with.
What's that?
that the quarterback play isn't living up to where it needs to be. You're not going to win football games against good football teams. This is what you're going to get. And if you're happy, if you're okay with, oh man, we played the 16th best team in the country and darn, we sure tried. That's not what I want as a fan.
Well, we fell short. We didn't try. We fell short. But here's what I'll tell you. It was a good effort. Was not all on the quarterback.
No,
it was not all on the quarterback.
And nobody said that either.
Did we have
hang on.
He threw great passes that were there.
Dude.
And what happens if that ball would have first down?
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. That woulda, coulda, shoulda.
I get it.
All right, Chad, we got to let you go. Thanks, man.
I get it.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
What a loser attitude. Man, we played against the 16th. They're 16th in the country. And
it's week 2 and you ranked 6.
You out there and gave them your all, boys.
And I think Iowa State is a ranked team, but now he's got me going. I started off kind of Pollyanna-ish. Now I've changed because all you're saying is, well, we were close. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. There's a lot of plays that are close. Iowa State was close on a lot of plays.
What a contrast in two callers there. The first one's like, this sucks. This sucks to be mediocre. This sucks to live in this world where we think, man, we can't do any better because we're Iowa. And the very next caller says, hey, guys, I'm going to talk you off the ledge for a minute. They're the number 16 team in the country. Did you think about that? And you went out there and darn it, you were in it till the end. What? What's going to happen when we play better teams?
515-517-2303. Let's go to North Liberty. That's where Aaron is. Aaron, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on?
Hey, how you guys doing? How you doing?
Good.
Aaron, how are you, buddy?
Hey, I appreciate you guys taking the call. I appreciate the new format and everything. More power to both of you, first of all.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say, just flat out, I don't think anyone is going to have to worry about any 8-win average. I don't think this team is going to be bowl eligible this year. I really believe that. I think this is a 5-win team. I really do. And it hurts to say that, but you go to the NIL, you get someone that you're paying $1 million for, and people are happy about that. People are calling in saying that this is okay. There was nothing okay about today. There was nothing okay about the scheme, the routes, the planning. Even in a 2-minute offense, it was deer with headlights. It really was. He looked scared. He looked like he wanted nothing to do with that situation. And you can take all the 2 FCS championships out the window. Because I didn't see any of that. So that's just where I'm at. They will be fortunate to win 5 games this year. I believe that. I wish I didn't have to say it, but that's how I feel.
All right, Aaron. Thanks for the phone call, man.
Hey, 5 wins. Next week it's UMass. Then it's at Rutgers on that Friday night, September 19th. That'll be a fun show, by the way.
That'll be a fun show. You never know what's going to happen on a Friday night for sure. You know, the first half offensively was brutal for Iowa, and I will admit that to agree with him. That 2-minute drill when they got the ball back, it was not productive. There was nothing there. The best they looked was to start the third, a little bit of the fourth. They got into a rhythm. There was some tempo there. They ran the ball a lot, but they were moving the football. Jazz Patterson with 11 carries, 60 yards. But at the end of the day, it's not like Iowa State tore the field up either, right? I mean, you're talking they had 238 total yards, but Iowa had 214 and had the ball over 30 minutes. Offensively, it's a broken record with this Iowa football team going back to, I mean, it really is. It is a broken record. It does not matter who the offensive coordinator is. It doesn't.
This is great. This is a great line. Kirk didn't want to open the playbook to give UMass any film. Because remember last week that was like, hey, come on, you're like gonna let Iowa State see the magic we got hidden under the curtain?
The only imaginative
that for Penn State or Oregon. Or so it'll be a couple weeks before you really get to see how good they can be.
The only imaginative play I think I saw today was the delayed RPO where he held onto the football for like 5 seconds.
That was and if you want to talk about like a wrinkle and something, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. There were two quotes today that I thought were really funny on the broadcast. That was one of them. One of them, right when they did that, whoever was doing color goes, "What do you call that?" I don't know why I thought that was great. They're right in the middle. He's like, what do you even call that?
Hold on as long as you can, then decide if you want to run.
The other one was a tweet I actually sent out because I thought that was really funny when when the one of the guys says, "No one is threatening the defense vertically with any speed." No shit. You ever seen the Iowa offense before? Welcome to Kirk Ferentz football. He's like, wait, it's like they don't know they can run that way.
He didn't go downfield to the third quarter, and there was a pass interference on there. Or was that the fourth quarter? I'm trying to think what quarter that was. It was the first time he went deep. They got lucky because it was on third down, and they drew a pass interference, but the deep ball not there all day long. And I think he went down the field, I think, twice longer than like 10 yards.
And I hate that this show, I hate that the beginning of this show always feels like I'm playing tug of war with myself. Okay. Where John comes on and John's super negative and I want to lift John up. So I'm being positive. But then Chad comes on. I feel like Chad's out over his skis with the optimism. And I'm like, no, be more negative. And then Aaron comes on and Aaron's like, hey, you're going to win 5 games. And I'm like, no, come on, relax. We're going to win more. We're better than that.
You know what this show is? It's bipolar. This show is bipolar. We swing the pendulum left and right.
We've said that before. It's therapy, and that's why it's so good. It's that tug of war game that we play here for a minute. I think that's at least it helps me to finally find where I should be and go, oh, okay.
515-517-2303. Let's go over to Omaha. That's where Corey is. Corey, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on, Corey?
Hey guys, appreciate you taking my call again.
Not a problem.
This might surprise you, but I am now an Iowa football media member. I hopped in my DeLorean and I'm calling you from August 29th, 2025. And guys, I have heard so much talk this offseason about, oh, it's a Kirk Ferentz offense. The offense is going to be the same. There won't be any adjustments. They're going to struggle. They won't get over 300 yards of total offense. Guys, you do not understand. This is not Brian Ferentz anymore. This is Tim Lester's offense. Have you seen the receivers he put in the NFL from Western Michigan? These guys can fly. Sam Phillips. These tight ends will take a step up. KJ Parker. There's no way that we hyped up KJ Parker the entire offseason and he won't play a snap in week 2 against Iowa State. That would be ludicrous. But guys, the receivers, they're obviously way better. The receiver room is going to be way better this year. But let me tell you about the quarterback. There is no way that this guy is going to be a deer in the headlights in a 2-minute drill. There's no way that this guy is basically Mark Wiseman trying to play quarterback. No, not at all. Didn't you know that he won 49 games? He'll win 50 in a couple of days here. And he's a national champion. So all you guys are idiots. This offense is great. You guys don't know what you're talking about. It's definitely not Kirk Ferentz's offense.
Can I throw one more in there, Corey, that I heard a lot? Ross, you seriously don't see a better offense? You seriously don't see a better offense this year from Iowa than you've seen the last 20 years?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Seriously, you don't?
No, I don't. I see.
That's a good comeback.
Yeah, that's a good comeback, Corey. I love your sarcasm gets lost on some people here. I love that. That's exactly what Iowa media members, I don't necessarily a name or somebody, but that's exactly what the feeling was. I shouldn't even say media members. It's what the feeling was from the Hawkeye fan base on a week and a half ago. It was, you don't even know. Dude, we got this dude. He's a national champion. Nailed it, Corey. He's not going to be a deer in the headlights. You guys know how good of a playmaker this guy is. And through 2 weeks,
yeah, I know that you guys are afraid of, Cade McNamara wasn't that great, but the same thing's about to happen. No, Mark Gronowski is not even close to being the same caliber quarterback as Cade McNamara was. This guy won national championships playing the likes of Sam Houston State and Austin Peay. You think he's going to shrivel up in Ames?
Your sarcasm,
I love it. I like it.
Is right on point. Corey, it's always good to hear from you, buddy.
Great. Yeah.
Thanks,
Have a great
buddy.
day, guys.
Mike said, "Is this caller high? Only high on faith, baby."
Yeah, he's not high. He's actually mocking the entire process. And Ross, you don't want to pick on the media members that write this stuff and broadcast this stuff, but you're going off a narrative of what you've been told, right? And you go off a narrative of what you've seen before, forgetting that as good as the Missouri Valley Conference is in FCS, it's not the Big Ten. The caliber of players, even from, are completely different. There's a reason. There's divisions. There's a reason where you go, oh, that's a lower division.
Who was on the call today? Because I'm going to reference a couple things that he said, and I'm so bad at this. I didn't pay attention at all.
It was Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt.
They asked Klatt about that difference early in the game. Do you remember that? They're like,
I do remember that.
What's the difference between where he was playing and playing in the Big 10 or Big 12? And there was a pause, and he went, oh.
Where do you want me to start?
Oh, it's drastic. It's drastic. All 11 dudes are turned up.
Yeah. 515-517-2303. Let's go to Ankeny. That's where Coach Hersom is. Coach, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on, Coach?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. And obviously, this is probably the one time I'll call into the Black and Gold Rush because you guys know what side of the fence I fall on. I'll be honest, when it was 2 field goals on the first Iowa State drives, I was nervous. My cardiologist appointment is still necessary. But it was I was good. I mean, let's be honest. That guy that said they're only going to win 5 games this year, that's wrong. I mean, they're going to win more than 5 games. Kirk Ferentz, he's going to win 7. He's going to win 8. They'll be all right. So, but as a Cyclone fan, I can say that I'm happy to have lost the bet at 3.5, but also happy to have won the game. So, appreciate the time, guys.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
It ends in that weird situation where if you were a Hawkeye fan who took the points, you won your bet but lost the game. And if you're a Cyclone fan like Coach Hersom who laid the points, you won the game but lost your bet.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Lincoln, Nebraska. That's where Anthony is. Anthony, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on, Anthony?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. And I'll say it. I think this needs to be Kirk's last year. Same old story on offense. Every single year. Same thing. He'll get his win. He'll break the record. And that's that. And as far as Iowa State's concerned, they're not a top 20, top 16 team. The Big 12 is what it is. They might win it. They might make the playoff. But all I have to say, thanks.
Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate it.
And I agree with Anthony. We can talk about it being Kirk's last year and whether or not it's time. That's where most of my strong opinions lie. But I do want to let's not take anything away from Iowa State. That's a really good football team. Really good football team. They didn't play excellent today and still beat the Hawkeyes. They didn't play, and I don't think the Hawkeyes, but I think that's a top 15 team. I think that's a team that's going to be in the conversation all year long, unless the wheels fall off the cart. Rocco gets hurt. Something really bad happens. That's a team that's going to be in the conversation to win the Big 12, to be in the college football playoff. That's a very envious position. Very envious. I as a Hawkeye fan, I wish that it was the other way around, that the Hawkeyes were a team that when here in about 2-3 weeks is the first time we're going to see that Chiron, the graphic pop-up of the college football playoff. Guess whose helmet's going to be there?
Iowa State's going to be there.
Not Iowa's. Not Iowa's. And so then ask yourself, when is the next time Iowa's is going to be there? Well, then it goes back to that first question. I hate to say it, and I've seen a lot of people saying it in the comments. This happens. I mean, we've been doing this a call-in show after Hawkeye games for going on 15 years. There have been very few losses where somebody didn't want the coach fired or the quarterback replaced. Very few, where that wasn't the very first response.
Though here, I would say that nobody wants the quarterback replaced because they don't know who the next quarterback is. We know it's Hank Brown, but it's one of those we haven't heard. It's give the other guy a chance yet. It's coming.
Everybody's coming around to my thing I said 10 years ago. It ain't the quarterbacks. It ain't the quarterback. It never was. It never was. But that was the easy thing to do was go, oh my God, are you kidding me? And then like John, who called in and had nicknames for like 6 different quarterbacks.
I want to know if you agree with me or disagree with me here. You say it ain't the quarterback. No. I could say, but when I was great, it is. C.J. Beathard, Nate Stanley. Yeah, I mean, not Nate Stanley.
Yeah. You're talking about
Brad Banks.
Ricky Stanzi and Brad Banks?
Ricky Stanzi, yeah.
Quarterback, honestly, quarterbacks that were good enough to transcend the what seemed to be the restraints put on them. In that, those quarterbacks, you're right. Those were special quarterbacks that could play special. Mark Gronowski made some plays today. Mark Gronowski, a couple of different times, made that play that last week we were like, oh man, I thought we were going to get a quarterback that kept plays alive. I thought we were going to get a quarterback that had some pocket presence. Man, today there were a few times he had minutes to throw the ball. He's bouncing around. The offensive line's doing a great job for him. There's no separation for the receivers. And so when after 20 years, you can point at a handful of really, really special guys, and go, those dudes were able to force this team and were able to push this team into greatness. Yeah, but all the other times, those guys were good quarterbacks. Spencer Petras was a talented quarterback. Kate McNamara was hurt. I get that. It's the system. The receivers don't get separation. I see that Tyler has joined us. This is something I can't wait to talk to him about. How is it possible?
So the host of the Washed Up Walk-ons, Tyler Kluver, former Iowa Hawkeye, is going to be joining us after this 1-minute timeout. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout, come back with the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios.
With the new Blackout Scratch ticket from the Iowa Lottery, you can win the game day experience of your dreams.
That'll be $5.
Enter for a chance to win a VIP experience cheering on the Hawkeyes from the Ironman Suite at Kinnick Stadium.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on therushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.
Welcome back to the Black and Gold Rush live from the Iowa Lottery Studios. Iowa State 16, Iowa 13. In the Cyhawk Series showdown at Jack Trice Stadium. Game you watched on Fox. Iowa with 214 total yards. Iowa State with 238 total yards. Iowa 63 total plays. Iowa State with 57 total plays. Ross, Iowa, 31 minutes and 8 seconds of time of possession. Iowa State 28-52, but Rocco Beck leads Iowa State in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game to get a field goal to put the Cyclones up 16-13, and that would be the final score as Iowa was unable to produce in the 2-minute offense. Let's bring in former Hawkeye and host of the Washed Up Walk-ons podcast, Tyler Kluver. And if you have questions for Tyler, 515-517-2303 is the number to call. Tyler, we thought you'd be out on the sidewalk with the chalk because you said, if something happened, you'd go out there with your kids and do the sidewalk chalk.
Kids are sleeping. Well, one of my wife is at the mall with her. The in-laws came and they actually brought the chalk inside. We got one of my, funny enough, they brought down one of my wife's like half chalk, half whiteboard easels from when she was a kid for my daughter to use now. So the chalk came inside, but the little girl, she's actually asleep right now. So it's a perfect time to do this show.
Excellent.
Takeaways from today.
It's interesting. I want to say great defensive performance. We're like, oh my God, Iowa State, right? It's like Rocco Beck, their passing attack, and then you look at the box score that you just kind of mentioned, Travis, and you're like, 238. Rocco was good completion percentage wise. Helps when balls get tipped and land right into tight end's hands on a final drive, but that one hurts. But one touchdown, 16 points. Defense feels good about that. So, but then you look to the offensive side and you're like, well, we actually kind of saw what we wanted from Mark. It's like everyone's like, Mark will be fine. And he was fine. We just didn't.
Define your version of fine. I'm being serious here. Define your version of fine.
Well, I mean, compared to we just wasted $2 million on another Deacon Hill who can't throw the football and doesn't know what he's doing at quarterback. I'd say he proved he can actually make those plays.
If Deacon Hill was the expectation, and I don't think that was.
No,
I don't think it was. Kluver, he ended with 84 yards.
Yeah, not good.
So it's Deacon Hill had games like that.
Sure.
And this was not supposed to be Deacon Hill. In fact, the thought is, okay, for the second time in about 3 or 4 years, we're going to throw a couple $1 million at a quarterback. Now, the first time it was an injury. Yeah, give us a break.
More than an injury, yeah.
So what's this? Because this is the same thing. This is this is the second game in a row against a where the offensive line seemed to give you time.
Sure, and I'll give you two things. When you're throwing the ball, there's a output and an input end on that.
There's some drop balls, no doubt about that. Yeah. And also almost every ball that was caught is a receiver going to the ground to catch it. We're not hitting guys in stride.
Some of them.
Just as many that were dropped. In fact, more than were dropped were poorly thrown balls that were caught.
Yes, there was a lot of drop balls that were placed exactly where they needed to be, though, and the guys didn't catch it, which changed perception. The other side of that is we have to remember this is what gets really twisted. Unfortunately, it's like it sucks to say now. This isn't your father's Iowa State team. This is a top 20 football.
I agree with that. This is Iowa State's really good, and that's
This isn't
that culture. This is a good team.
We shouldn't be sitting here going, "How did we lose to Iowa State?" This isn't the 2014 Iowa State team that I lost to that then went on and went 4-8. This is a team that is at this point definitely the Big 12 front runner.
Yeah. Should be a college football playoff contender.
And probably is more likely than not a college football playoff contender right now. Who knows what they turn out to be. And a team that is maybe more than most teams, although I'm sure they have their own questions today after only scoring 16 points. A team that just looks really good for this early in the season.
To that point on that 16 points and the defense only giving up one touchdown, the defense playing well. That one touchdown comes on a great field position from that pick six.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is another thing. Let's go back. I mean, again, I don't think you can look at Gronowski's performance. If I ask you, give it a grade today.
Oh, I'm by no means saying Mark played a great game.
I'd say it's C- D+ range.
Oh, no.
You think it's higher than that?
Yeah.
He had 84 yards.
Yeah.
He threw an interception that led to a touchdown.
Interception that probably is just an incompletion if our receiver doesn't fall down.
Because Weegan fell down. People, and I did a video at halftime, and people corrected me because I said Gronowski threw the pick. They're like, "Hey, it wasn't his fault."
Now, regardless, it's an interception. It turns into what it is. But if our and that specific play, you even heard you heard Gus say it on the broadcast. He goes, "This is a tough one for your quarterback because that's a play in a."
I'm not going to give much wiggle room here. Iowa State fans couldn't name the Iowa State receivers before 2 weeks ago. And Rocco Beck's having no problem finding the right holes for them to catch the ball and run.
Rocco Beck, he's a top 4 quarterback in the country.
Mark Gronowski, I can't continue to let you guys say, well, it's receivers.
Again, I'm not saying it's.
If Weegan hadn't fallen down, you don't throw that interception.
He doesn't. That's just the reality.
Okay, so there's one play.
Yeah.
Of the
a very big one.
A very big one. Very big one.
Yeah. Complete mismatch. They make no doubt. I think Iowa State. I mean, I'll be honest. It feels like we were about to steal one. Like again, I was telling people my predictions for this game, and I was like right at 30-20 Iowa State. That was my feeling on this.
Yeah.
Rocco's good. Bramer is a mismatch, especially on our inexperienced linebackers, and that showed on the touchdown catch. And then just Burkle and him, they are the X factor. Kind of hurts to say that the tight end position was the X factor for Iowa State in this game, but those are 2 legit guys. Mark did. I understand, like it's not Mark didn't go out and like completely rewrite the script here and now everyone's good on Mark. But a lot of the sentiment on and this is coming from X, but X is usually harsh, was like, oh, Mark made me feel better here. Now the blame is going to Tim Lester or Kirk Ferentz, because everyone knows Kirk Ferentz calls the plays, right? And then where else were we? And the receivers. And so it's always something, of course.
So then walk me kind of off that ledge or through that process there, Tyler, because again, as a frustrated fan here, I've seen a couple of things that have transcended talent, have transcended coordinator. And a few of those things are a very similar style of offense, very conservative style of play. Like for instance, today on those 3rd and 7s when you're running the 5-yard outs. I mean, come on, that's laughable Iowa football, right? That's how you become the laughing stock of college football with your offense. And then you see quarterback play that is subpar. That 84 yards is the type of thing that we go, hey, look, that's all right. He did a pretty good job with 84 yards. And another thing is wide receivers that don't get separation. Mm-hmm. We're never putting the ball down the field vertically. Very rarely do we try to throw the ball longer than about 15 yards. Mm-hmm. And very rarely, like we were talking about with the receivers, do we actually get separation and that. So, and then I know you say, yeah, Kirk Ferentz doesn't call the plays, but explain that.
He doesn't call the plays. I
understand that. So, but explain to me then how for 20 years I've seen, despite the talent, despite the coordinators, whoever it is, I've seen those things happen.
So the quarterback thing, there's a lot of recency sort of PTSD, and I feel it from you, Ross. I feel it. It was not too long ago where I played on a team that scored 34 points a game, and CJ Beathard you had none of these thoughts about CJ.
You're right about that. We were just talking about that.
It was 9 years ago.
A few of those guys in these 20 years have been able to do that, to elevate, be the playmaker.
CJ, Stanley to an extent, and then after Stanley, it started to get worse. There's a little bit of recency bias in this has just been the entire Kirk Ferentz tenure. It hasn't. Is he swayed to the side of like less modern football, throw it all over the place, be super aggressive? Yeah, he's a conservative guy. You're going to have to die. You're going to have to die and be buried as a Hawkeye fan.
So then explain, but he doesn't, like you say, he doesn't call the plays, but it's his conservative style of play.
I don't know for sure how much Kirk is in Tim's ear going, hey, let's reel it in here. Tim has a lot of control of this offense. And I think you saw that when early in the game, just not getting a lot done. I think did we talk about it on the show yesterday, or maybe I do so many shows now. It's like, Jesus, I don't know when I said it.
That's good for you.
Here I thought we were special.
Oh, buddy, you're not exclusive. No.
I know that.
You ever been to the Bunny Ranch? He's top.
It's not. I do too many of my own shows. You guys are the only show I go on. I wish I had more. No one else cares about me. We talked about how early in the game you have to establish that you're a passing threat, and a couple of those drops, a couple of the lesser well-placed throws, and a little bit of, hey, we're just not taking enough shots, we're running too much. All factored into Iowa State just playing downhill and doing exactly what everyone this week who previewed this game said. Iowa can't do that. They're going to get, and then all of a sudden you come out in the second half and it's like, whoa, Warren Ruggiero just showed up with the slow mesh. And now it's like Iowa State was a little concerned. They're like, oh, we don't know what we're doing against this. And then Mark starts to use his legs a little bit, and it starts to open up a little. We just didn't do it soon enough. And for sure, we are hurting at wide receiver and have been for a while.
I want to come back to that, but let's get some phone calls. 515-517-2303. Let's go to Boone. That's where John is. John, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on, John?
Can you hear me?
Yep, gotcha.
All right. All I want to say is Corey is full of shit. This team is way better than we're going to win way more games than 5 games. And we played a good team today. And Mark Gronowski is a good quarterback. He just needs to settle down. He's way better than what we've had in the past. And we played a hell of a D and offensive line today, and we're going to be all right.
Real quick, it was Aaron that said we were only going to win 5 games. So it's Aaron who's full of shit, John. But
okay, well, and
I agree.
All right.
Listen, and we got to remember that, first of all, one of those 5 is under the belt already. And you got a couple of games coming up here that should get the wheel. I mean, like, the wheels didn't fall off the cart today. We lost to a top 25 team and all that on the road in a rivalry game.
That's a really big point that I will continue to emphasize.
What, that it's a rivalry game?
No, that how good this Iowa State is.
I think that's the first filter we should run this through on it. I totally agree with you. But again, there's some things I felt today as a Hawkeye fan.
Well, because you knew there was a legitimate chance to win it if the offense was more consistent. In that third quarter, when they got into tempo, when they got into a rhythm, you felt pretty darn good about the offense. And then all of a sudden, the tempo went away. Now, things happen with there, but when they got into tempo and rhythm, you're like, okay, this team can produce. Yeah. And they were dominating up front. The line of scrimmage, they were dominating the line of scrimmage, like they're going to take this over. And then it didn't happen. I think that's what hurts. Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
And I get I get it. But hey, Ross, I get what you're saying, but if you look at what Gronowski's done in the past, he really only had one bad pass today. He did get some happy feet. And I understand that, but I think we have a hell of a lot better quarterback than we've had in the past. And just to let you guys know before I hang up, my son is marrying Sandy Bush's daughter in April.
Wow.
That's the honest to God truth. First time I've ever called in, but let's go Hawks.
John, can I ask you a personal question? Are they making him sign a prenup before he gets into those Bush billions?
They probably will, because they're in the money. So we're on the good side of this shit.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it. 515-517-2303. Let's go to Urbandale. That's where Mike is. Mike, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's up, Mike?
Hey, guys. For the first time in my life, I agree with somebody from Boone. No, I don't think things are as bad as people are saying, but here was my takeaway from it, in that the route trees in the first half were a little Lorax-esque, as in, like, not good. but I thought it was promising to see some new looks from the offense. I love that slow mesh, and that came out, and that clearly threw them off, which I really liked. Sorry for the dog in the background. I'm doing every other island on Today Is and drinking in a garage. But it was promising. But for the first time in a long time, we've seen Kirk play an opponent 2 years in a row and get out-Ferenced. And that's really my biggest concern about everything. But like you guys just said, I think we're going to right the ship next week. And,
Tyler,
there's promise there with Gronowski.
Tyler, your thoughts there on getting out-Ferenced?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I think you would be naive to think that Matt Campbell doesn't respect Coach Ferentz and what he's done in the state a lot. Iowa State and Iowa play different styles of ball a little bit. They've got some different schematics. They recruit slightly different guys, but they're recruiting often from the same grounds. They're in the same state. They play. He's tried to make it a little bit more Iowa disciplined, special teams.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, today you look at. I agree. That's actually a great point. 1-to-1 on the turnover battle. Yep. Iowa controls time of possession. Iowa has more plays. And the thing that comes out is how many special teams mistakes did we make today?
That really, Tyler, you would be better at telling us, defining what a special teams mistake was, because like even, Legion on that one where he lets the punt bounce and then it gets down and tries to carry it inside the 5-yard line. And then, by the way, did you guys notice that the Hawkeyes were called for a penalty on that? They were called for a hold that was supposed to move the ball back to the 2.5-yard line. They never moved the ball back.
Kept it at the 5 because Joel Klatt goes, that's going to back him up to 2.5. And then Gus Johnson goes, first down for the 5. I'm like, they didn't move the football. How do you forget to move the football?
I only know that because several of my Iowa State fans did notice and send me text messages. These fucking refs are fucking State.
Hey, Mike, we're going to let you go. Thanks for the phone call, man.
Yeah, later.
Yep.
Yeah, Mike. I like Mike. That's funny. First time in my life I've agreed with somebody from Boone.
And Tyler, another special teams mistake would have been the opening kickoff when Weegan got penalized for the unsportsmanlike conduct. I mean, you're like, because he got up to the 25, close to the 30, and all of a sudden you're back at the 15. You're not helping yourself with, and that's just. And I know it's a rivalry game. You're pumped up, but you got to be smarter than that in situations like that.
Kid's been a stud for us, but he had a tough day. And you have one every once in a while. Bad day to have one. But he hurt us there. He hurt us on the one where he tried to be a hero. We had a false start on a punt. The punt after on that first 3 and out or whatever, the first drive, Dakin hit for like 30 yards. It ended up being good for us, but the one turnover they had, that goes another way, and we're looking at interfering with the returner call.
Yeah, right.
So that's how you look at that on the inside. He's going to get his ass chewed because if he doesn't get lucky there, that's 15 on us. And there's a bunch of other things that were happening. So
there's a lot to complain about with that call on both sides. Because I honestly, as a Hawk fan, I didn't think he necessarily got blocked into it. But the letter of the law says that if he is pushed into it, that negates his touch, and then it did hit the Iowa State player. So I saw everybody complaining about that. So,
I got to argue with somebody on Twitter back and forth for 10 minutes about the halo rule and being pushed into the returner. And this guy was trying to tell me, who literally the only rule that ever applied to me being on the field was that rule. If I know one rule, it's how that one is called and officiated. And this guy's at one point, he took like a nice subtle jab. I love when they go this way. He goes, I know you played, kinda, but you don't know all the rules.
Hell, the refs don't know all the rules. They don't. They spend most of their pregame still going through the rule book because it's so thick. It's
Kluver, I don't want to do this during Black and Gold Rush because we have a bunch of callers lined up. But at some point, we're going to talk about who your dad was, but more importantly, who your grandpa was.
I would love that. Actually.
All right.
515-517-2303. Let's go up to North Dakota. That's where Jake is. Jake, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
I'm good, Jake.
Good. All right. Well, I just wanted to give some flowers to the defense here. I know we're talking a lot about the offense, but I mean, to hold a top 25 team to 16 points in their home stadium, when they went out to Ireland and played Kansas State, and then they dropped 55 on a really good Missouri Valley team. The defense is still there, even with our young guys. So I wanted to give them their flowers. I wanted to make sure that, Iowa State wouldn't even score a touchdown this game if it wasn't for an offensive mistake. So I want to give them their flowers, and I want to make sure that Phil Parker is praised appropriately. But ultimately, for me, the difference in this game was just Rocco Becht. Rocco Becht was a better quarterback. Rocco Becht knew that he only had to get to the 45-yard line to make sure his kicker could kick a field goal. And that was really what it was at the end of the day. Like, Iowa dominated the trenches in the second and third quarter. They were pushing Iowa State around, but this team isn't designed, and it's never been designed to do a 2-minute drill. And, we're a ground and pound team. We like to play with leads and bleed the clock. So, and I also want to give a big shout out to TJ Hall, who played a ton better this game and really clamped down against some guys that were a lot bigger than him. So I think it's important to recognize TJ Hall. But what do you guys think?
I think that's fantastic. And again, in another arrow in the quiver for the defense is that only touchdown came on a short field. They played fantastic today. I gave up 100 yards on the ground. So I think you can stop just shy of saying, man, they played fantastic or great, but they really did play they played good enough to win this football game. Certainly another game where the defense played good enough to win.
Thanks for the phone call, Jake. I appreciate it.
And he's right about Rocco.
Thank you.
Rocco's just a fantastic quarterback. Matt Campbell and his staff have done a great job of identifying quarterback talent. They've just gotten lucky. They didn't get lucky with Brock Purdy. They didn't get lucky with Rocco Becht. And remember, they had Hunter Deckers, who, if it hadn't have been for an illegal gambling probe, probably would have had a nice career as well. Who knows? Who knows what would have happened there? They've done a great job of identifying talent and then allowing it to prosper and grow and become great college quarterback.
And the reason Iowa State is being talked about as a playoff team is because of the quarterback. I mean, that's the reason why. We got another phone call. We're going to go out to Denver, Colorado. That's where Doug is. Doug, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush in the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on?
Thanks, guys. My thoughts are scattered. But the one thing that comes out in my mind, two things. One, I'm just going to say it. Iowa's garbage. My feeling is, which of these two teams would I feel comfortable with gambling for, or calling them to win the games they're going to play? Who would I be more comfortable with? Which team? It's certainly not Iowa. It would be Iowa State. I thought Matt Campbell is a consummate professional. And what I mean by that is that I think he would have, or his offensive coordinator would have loved to open it up and pass this game. But they danced the way their dancing partner, Iowa, danced, and they made the decisions they made to be conservative for Iowa State down the stretch. And they won the game. It would be more lopsided if Iowa didn't have that one long drive that drove the length of the field. If Iowa didn't have that, it'd be more of a lopsided score. I'm tired of the Hawkeye offense. I feel let down. Iowa State's got a much better product. They didn't play super today. This game is a tough game. It's unpredictable. It's messy. And I just feel way better about the Iowa State's chances than the Hawks' chances this year.
And you just mean
I'm going to side with that other caller. 5 losses. I had them at 4 losses this year. I'll say 5 losses for the Hawks.
All right. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it.
And Tyler, you had him at what, 8-4? As John from New Jersey let us know, he said you must live on X, because at the end of the day, I can't get into arguments with people on X. I need a format like this to have a back and forth conversation.
I rarely dabble, but sometimes if it's something I know what I'm talking about, then I will set someone in their place, and that's very rare. And
I love what Doug said there. I feel let down. Listen, Tyler, I know you're it's like, man, it's a college football game. That's the emotion that people carry.
I understand.
I thought that was really good of him to say. I feel let down. I was like, there it is.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I have.
Seth in Madison, Wisconsin, stay there. Jake, who's up at the Jack Trice parking lot, stay there. I do have a question for Tyler Clover, because we were talking about the receivers, and I want to ask you about this, because DJK came up on the show yesterday when you were on. And I've kind of made this point about ever since the DJK thing, and that is, does Kirk Ferentz want superstars? Does he want superstars on his team? Guys who are a little flamboyant, maybe out there publicly a little bit, but who can produce. I mean, would he have done well with a Shedeur Sanders? Would he have done well with, you can pick a number of Nico Imalavala. Does he want superstars, or does he just want the consummate team players?
He would love a superstar if it didn't come with what the superstar's personality is.
So he doesn't want the baggage.
Usually.
Yeah.
There are some superstars. In fact, I was thinking about this watching Game Day. They had a thing on Andrew Luck. Superstar. Didn't come with the superstar baggage, though.
That's a good one. I was trying to think of a guy that would fit that. That's not. It doesn't have the Aaron. And I hate, you can name anybody, it gets polarizing, but like Aaron Rodgers comes with baggage. Aaron Rodgers comes with a suitcase full of crazy when he walks in the door.
Stanford guy, right?
Good one. Good. Andrew Luck's a good one. But hey, another Stanford guy that did come with his own palette full of crazy was what was the guy that was the defensive back? Sherman.
Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman. Whoa.
Yeah, and I could name names of guys who were superstar-esque, or they flash talent. And some of their, I don't know what it is, but something about having that talent, you start to think that you're too big for your britches, or you deserve more, or you're, something about it, right?
This is a good one. Goatman says Cooper DeJean was Kirk's ideal superstar.
100%.
How about this? Remember, Travis, we talked about that Big Ten video that was floating around. Tyler, did you see the thing of all the Big Ten coaches were asked if you could have one player and Coach Ferentz picked you? No, Coach Ferentz picked.
I think after our conversation yesterday, that's not true.
Coach Ferentz picked Bob Sanders, which I think is another guy that would fit that. I don't know Bob Sanders at all, but he never seemed like one of those superstars that was, not Shedeur Sanders.
Played for the love of the game, baby.
Did you know him well?
Bob Sanders?
Because
I've been trying to get in touch with Bob for 8 years.
Oh, okay. So no is the answer.
You don't know very well.
He came in one time to talk to us and was about as mystical and as stoic as he seemed as a player. And he is very much so off the grid. At the time when he came to talk to us, his day job, he was a day trader. He just traded stocks.
So he's a gambler, because that's what day trading is. Day trading is gambling.
There's a few out there who can dial it up to be somewhat profitable. It's a little bit, but
John Kruk.
I've never been able to get in touch. I have one last way to do it, and I'm saving it for like episode 1,000 of the podcast.
You got the chip. You've got the chip. All right, before we let you go, just some final thoughts, and UMass is going to be a win. We know that. After you lose a game like this, what's the mentality like on the bus ride home? Because this will be a bus ride home.
Yeah.
And how long does it take you? I know they say it's a 24-hour rule and you got to leave it, but how long does this one sit for a while?
I still think about 2014, Travis.
11 years. Maybe that's where it goes. So far, 11 years.
So maybe 12 years is when it stops. I don't know. It'll hurt. It'll hurt for a while, but they move on really well. It's very quick. They're working on UMass, and then they're working on Rutgers, and it hurts a little less when the team is quality opponent. Again, I keep coming back to that. Still hurts. It was right there. And again, I love that caller praising the defense. Defense did a lot of great things. I can't remember off the top of my head, but didn't give up too many explosives. Would have liked to have probably one or two more turnovers, obviously, but 16 points, 240 yards. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you average that. I just looked it up. The last year, and then through 3 games this year, Iowa State's averaging 420 on offense.
Nice.
We held them to 240.
There's the silver lining. You found the silver lining. That's what we love about you.
Yeah, and it's gonna hurt, but I think it proves one thing. We just went to a top 15, top 20. Who knows where they end up at the end of the year? But opponent who's doing really good things, got a really good squad early in the year, could get a lot better. Who knows where this Iowa State team goes? And played them to the end of the game with a mediocre total performance. When you look at the entire product from the Hawkeyes, that right there is enough for them to go back and be like, we can play with anybody on our schedule, because we get the big dogs in our stadium later in the year when we have 4 or 6 weeks to keep putting stuff together. There's a lot of good to take away, and I know people hate hearing that in a loss, but it's just the true thing.
All right, Tyler, always good to hear from you, buddy. We'll hear from you next Friday on the Rush Radio Show at 7:30 in the morning. And then if you can join us next Saturday for the UMass game, that's going to be the one where we thought Albany was going to be hard to do 2 hours with.
Yeah.
They always give us something to talk about. We'll talk to you next week, bud.
See you guys.
All right, see you. Tyler Kluver, host of the Washed Up Walk-ons podcast. Look for your episodes wherever you download your podcast. Seth in Madison, Jack at Jack Trice, Nick in Des Moines, stay on hold. We'll get to your phone calls when we come back. It's a 1-minute break from the Black and Gold Rush, live from the Iowa Lottery Studios.
She's on the 17, the 45, the 29, and she scores big cash prizes from the Iowa Lottery by matching her numbers to the winning numbers on the new Iowa Blackout Scratch Ticket. Now she's entering for a chance to win an Ironman Suite experience at Kinnick Stadium, plus other fun VIP prizes. That's the best touchdown dance I've ever seen. Make the biggest play of the season today. Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time homebuyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on therushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.
Number 2 of the Black and Gold Rush, live from the Iowa Lottery Studios. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. Iowa loses to Iowa State in the Cyhawk game, 16-13. If you're listening on the rushradio.com, on the audio stream at the Rush Radio Android app or the free TuneIn app, thank you for putting us in your cars and driving home with us. Of course, we're available on the Android Auto and the Apple CarPlay. If you're watching on YouTube today, give this channel a subscription. Give the video a like. Start leaving your comments in the comment section. And follow us on X at Rush Mornings. The Rush with Travis and Ross on Facebook and The Rush Radio Show on Instagram. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. We have all 4 lines packed up right now. I might have to expand our lines. Owen's upstairs answering the phone calls. We can expand it to 6, but I might have to do that next week. Let's go up to Madison, Wisconsin. That's where Seth is. Seth, thanks for waiting on hold so long. Welcome to the Black and Gold Rush.
Yeah, no problem.
What's going on?
Is this the Seth that fired me?
Yeah, nope. No, this is not. This is not.
Then you
No, I don't fire people. I hire people.
guys.
But I was thinking about the game. We did lose. There's a reason. They make the windshield. The windshield's bigger than the rearview mirror. You gotta look forward. Can't turn one loss into two. Go get a get right game. Against UMass. Get everything rolling in the Big Ten play. I love Kirk Ferentz, and he's been an awesome coach for Iowa. And I'm not saying he needs to be fired. I think he's the right guy right now. But at some point, the offense definitely needs to open up. I mean, and also another thing is how many carries did Xavier Williams have today?
Xavier Williams had 7 carries for 26 yards, a 3.7 per carry average. Jazz Patterson, I thought, was the better running back today. He came in, he had 11 carries for 60 yards. His longest was 10. He averaged 5.5 yards per carry. So, and then Gronowski ran the ball 16 times for 37 yards.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate. The running game, you can't say took a step back. They were playing obviously a way better defense, but at some point, I just really feel like this offensive passing attack has to open up. It's been, and we could say this till we're dead, but there's just, hopefully with UMass we can get right. Like I said, look forward, not back. Go get a get right game against UMass, but technically everything's still in front of us, so it's a big uphill battle. But I just think we just open it up a little bit. Just play a little loose. The screw it attitude I didn't think was really there with Mark today, but I think he's the right guy. He'll get right. Maybe he's just still playing a little too fast.
I don't disagree with you opening it up. We've been saying that's the broken record.
That's gonna happen. I love Seth's off.
I know.
I really
know.
do. You are a guy that hires people. This is a very optimistic guy. He is a glass half full. I like that attitude. I don't agree with it on this one. No. I agree with it because what he's saying is this is what we need to have happen. We need the offense to be more exciting. We need the offense to open up a little bit. Mark Gronowski can be a good quarterback.
It is a broken record. It is a broken record.
Right. It is that thing of like, well, yeah, we've been saying that for a long time. We've been saying open it up, Kirk, for a long time. My buddy John writes it. Opening up and Kirk Ferentz are oxymorons. That's an oxymoron. Open it up, yeah. Kirk Ferentz.
Yeah.
That can happen.
So, it's, and Kirk's, in my opinion, he's a Hall of Fame coach. He's first class. I don't think there's anybody, that does it more right than him. Great guy. He deserves his flowers at the University of Iowa. But man, it is, frustrating. And it's like one of those deals where you want to be so pissed at him, but you can't. It's like, he means, it's what have you done for me now in this day and age? And, say it like it is, being a realist, he's above average. We win 8 games a year, 9 games a year. But if he would just say, screw it, open it up and let's see what happens. If they win 8-7 games this year, but they let it fly a little bit, I think a lot of people will be a little more happy, a little more optimistic than, if we win 7-8 games and we just run the ball, 45 times a game and go 11 for 22. With 112 yards and a touchdown, maybe.
All right. Thanks for the call. Appreciate that, Seth.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys have a
515-517-2303. That does open up a line, so we have one line open. Let's go up to Jack Tri-Stadium as Jake is sitting in the parking lot. You still there? You a couple bush lights in, Jake?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I was just calling in for a quick just trying to help out some of the fellow black and gold.
Go ahead.
I'm a big dude. I'm about 6'4", three bills, wearing all my black and gold in here. And I've been getting a lot of little snippy comments from these little Iowa States while I was walking around. Good job. Better try next year, that kind of stuff. And had a couple of big fellas say some stuff to me too. But my comeback has just been, congrats on the Big 12 championship is what I've been telling them all day.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's right. You win one game per year and you get awful mouthy. But how about you win a couple more than that?
But you know what? To be fair, this is the way it is in rivalry games. I mean, you have Kansas. Kansas is playing Missouri today, and they're going to. And those two teams are going at it. When you have rivalry games, it takes on a different meaning.
Well, and I have done a couple of, Iowa sucks, and I'd come back with a so's your mother, but that one gets a little bit trippy with some of the other stuff.
That's always a good one.
I try to stay away from that one too much, but.
No. What you need to say, so does your mother, and quite well.
Wow. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and
all right, guys. Thanks. Enjoy the after show.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate that, Jake.
Yep.
Big fella just taking it on the chin up there. Be careful, nerds. Be careful.
He's 6'4", 3 bills. Okay.
Dude, is there anything more white and nerdy than that juicy wiggle thing that they do? You know what I'm saying? It's like
but you know what? I can respect it, because if you go to K-State, they do the Wabash.
There's nothing dumber than the burrito lift. There's nothing dumber than the pump it up. You got to pump it up. That's about that. I just answered my own question. What's whiter than the juicy wiggle? The burrito lift.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Des Moines. That's where Nick is. Nick, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush in the Iowa Lottery Studios.
I'll tell you what, both teams had a great defense today.
I would agree with you.
That's what escapes most. Most is what escapes the great D. But what also at the same time, I think. Sorry, bud. Get down.
Was that a dog or a kid? Was that a dog or a kid?
A dog. It's a dog.
Tell a
he
kid.
Just wants love.
What the hell are you doing?
He's a dog. the dang pit bull. He wants love.
That's not a dog. That's an animal.
That's a beast.
He's a huge beast. But anyways, I think it would have changed possibly in this game if Iowa State's wide receivers would have caught the balls. If they would have caught balls, that was very, very close to catching them. I think it might have changed.
Iowa's or Iowa State's, because Iowa had drop balls.
Iowa State.
Yeah, because Eskildson had a drop ball on a deep one too. I mean, both teams. That's the thing. We can go to Iowa and say ifs and buts and Kansas and that's, but Iowa State had just as many opportunities that they fell short on as well.
You're not wrong on that one, but stop. It's okay. But I think Iowa State on the longest balls, if they would have just a second sooner, might have caught those. But who knows? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, obviously we score at the end of the game. We didn't see the score, but I mean, next week might be different.
What's your dog's name?
I don't know.
What's your dog's name?
It's not my dog's name. It's my buddy's name. It's Rover. Oh, where's you going? He's such a beast. He's sitting here licking me to death. He's like, I want to talk. No, you can't talk, buddy. Sorry, Rover.
His name is Rover?
No, you're not.
You named
allowed.
your dog Rover?
You have a pit bull named Rover?
It's my buddy's. It's my buddy's dog.
Oh,
he has two gentle giants, and they're two pit bulls, and they're the most gentle dogs you'll ever see in your life. But,
thanks for the call, Nick.
I mean, and you know what I'm saying? Well, most people anyway, all right, I'll let you guys go.
Right.
But he's looking at me.
See you, Nick.
Good luck, boys.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, two good defenses today.
Oxymoron, gentle pit bull. 515-517-2303. Let's go to Waukee. That's where Dick Bush is. Dick.
I like to go by Richard.
Oh, okay. Hey, Richard.
Dick's fine.
Well, I just figured the rest of the Bush family has got their nicknames. I thought I'd go by Dick, but I'll say Richard. Richard, what's up?
Well, all the entire Bush family's in the garage, and they are not happy. So pretty much calling in for a warning that, Sandy, Anita, the entire crew, Grandma Bush is here. As soon as they kicked the field goal, the Ninja blender went going. We're out of all vodka. We're out of rum. We're door dashing tequila now. And so this is just a warning. I don't know how long you guys are on, but they're calling in here shortly.
We'll be warned. I hope they got the tequila from Central City Liquors, because Central City Liquors does deliver. Just saying, when you need your tequila, when you need your rum, when you need anything, including the mixers, Central City Liquors is the place to go.
Well, perfect. We'll do that right now. Who said it's ifs and buts for candy and nuts? We'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Who said?
My dad used to.
Well, it's an expression I heard from a dad.
I thought it was your dad.
Yeah, I had a teacher. I think it was Gaylord Schelling or Pat Dalton. One of my teachers would always say it in school, because I'd say, "Well, I was close. Yeah, it was ifs and buts, candy and nuts every day to be Christmas." And the other one I heard was
only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
That's the one I was going to do. Yep. Yeah. So, all right, Richard, thanks for the phone call. I appreciate it.
Yeah, hey, but before I go, it looked like Growski was throwing hand grenades today. I mean, couldn't complete a pay. I'll let the Bush girls take care of this. But man, disappointing loss, and there's a lot of alcohol going around this place.
Oh boy.
Thanks, Richard. We got two lines open at 515-517-2303. Let's go out to Western Iowa. Mike is in a truck. What you hauling, Mike?
I'm hauling a little bit of a broken heart after that loss today.
What'd you think of the game? Did you listen to it or watch it?
Well, no, I watched the game. Ferentz ball, right? Love it. NFL style. But when you do that, you got to make some big plays. And what happened was that jump pass was a killer.
Yeah.
And then let's not forget about that tipped ball that typically goes Iowa way for an interception. Ended up in the hands of, I don't know, whoever that was, a big tight end or something like that. Those are the type of plays we typically get to win games like this, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, the tip ball went to Burkle. And credit his concentration and keeping that in. But you're right. As soon as that happened, was that on third down? I think it was on third down.
That feels right.
Yeah.
And you're like,
down to those.
Man.
Well, and I'm used to one of our stud or smart safeties coming across and being there a little sooner to pick something like that off. That ball's hanging in the air like that. It just, wasn't that way. And then the other thing is when we play Iowa State, we typically get a big pick or we get a fumble, and we didn't get that fumble. That could have changed momentum, because at halftime everything was looking pretty good, momentum wise. But my goodness, those are the type of things that Iowa needs to win. If our offense is going to be, average at best.
Yeah. Amen. You have to win those things in the margin. And it felt like, Mike, that you had that punt kerfuffle that happened in the right at the end, towards the end of the first half, towards the end of the first quarter, and that felt like that was the thing that was going to happen. It felt like, the ball bounced the Hawkeye's way. Here we go, and unfortunately, it just wasn't there. I love that. What you hauling, Mike? A broken heart.
Where you at in Western Iowa, Mike? Where you at in Western Iowa? Just curious.
Well, it's probably more central, western, towards the Cal type of area. It's not that far west, but I'm an Iowa alum. My wife's an Iowa alum. My brother's an Iowa alum. My son's a freshman there this year. My other son goes to Madison, but he wears black and gold on Saturdays, and so. But we'll turn it around. We're gonna be at the game next weekend. So what should I look like or what should I be looking for to see like that small growth? What do you guys think?
Some consistency in the passing game, longer than 5-yard outs. And Ross, you brought it up with Tyler Clover. I was getting so frustrated on the 5-yard outs when it was 3rd and 7. You're like, get to the freaking sticks.
Then it feel like that's just
that's just poor. Yeah, and I don't know who's like that on. Is that on the guy running the route, the receiver, or is that Lester, like the actual play call to go that distance? Like, you know what I mean? Or during the week, those sort of things. Like, I don't know. Is that on the whiteout or is that on coaching during the week?
I think it's a little bit on the wideout going, okay, confident that he's going to get 2 more yards after catch when he turns up field. You have to get on third down. You have to get to the stick. Do not give yourself, hey, I got to get 2 more yards. Because I don't know about you guys. On both sides, it was a hard hitting game today. I mean, they were
pad popping. That was happening. Yeah.
So, and all right, Mike, thanks, man. Drive safe.
All right, rock on.
All right. And I said Western Iowa. I thought he's in Western Illinois. And so that's because when he said DeKalb, I go, I look at the call screener because Owen's really good at putting everything in the call screener. And Owen put Illinois. I just saw IL and just thought that it was Iowa. I don't know why. I apologize.
That sounds like a Bobby Braddock song. What you hauling, Mike? A broken heart on this flatbed.
515-517-2303. He called in earlier, but he has a stat to pass along to us. Doug out in Denver, Colorado. What is the stat? You got me curious here, Doug.
I forgot to mention, I don't know the stat exactly, but I believe we're still 0-0 against top 25 opponents in recent years.
It's somebody put up on the chat earlier that Kirk Ferentz is 0 for his last 10 against ranked opponents. That doesn't.
Wow.
There it is.
Whether that's true or not, that's a stat that was put up, I think, and it was my buddy Bensi that put that up. So I think I don't think he would have just thrown that up there. He probably checked it.
It's pretty accurate. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But
that's all.
Well, that's a good stat to bring up because do you trust Iowa in a big game?
Okay,
I don't.
Let's talk about this because somebody when we were in one of our commercial breaks, I saw a question pop up that said, "When is the next time the Hawkeyes beat a ranked opponent?" And I thought, that's a really good question because I'm thinking of the ranked opponents this year as Penn State and Oregon and.
Not beating Oregon. Oregon's up 27-3 at Oklahoma State right now.
Probably Penn State after what we saw today. But in a couple weeks, the Hawkeyes host Indiana. The Hawkeyes host Indiana. If they don't win that game, and I'm not saying it's like, well, Katie bar the door, and then you got to fire Kirk Ferentz. But if we're talking about the Hawkeyes beating a ranked team, damn it. Come on, Hawk fans. The Hawkeyes host Indiana. Hawkeyes win that game, right, Travis?
I'm not going to go out on a limb yet.
I want to throw something. Mike says they won't beat Indiana. I want to throw something. The Hawkeyes host Indiana. They win that game.
Here's the dumb cliche thing that I'm going to do. Iowa's going to beat a team that you didn't see coming, but for the most part, I don't trust this team. I approach each and every week now just going, what are we going to see? And I'm right back to where I was a year ago and the year before that. It's like, I don't know. How do you think the game's going to be? I don't know. I just don't know. 515-517-2303. Let's go out to Cincinnati, Ohio. That's where Rob is. Rob, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios.
Hey, thanks, Travis. I appreciate it. I'm an actual transplant out here from Omaha, and I tell you, I really loved your show when you had it on there. I used to piss off a lot of my friends there, which was great, so I appreciate the work you do. I'll admit, I'm a Cyclone fan, but I thought when we got this game, when the game went into Ferentz type mode, I was about as worried as I think ever could be. They just didn't solve the quarterback thing. If that's what they rumors the $2 million, man, a lot of money for that.
Let's talk about that.
So, in any case, it was a good game. We'll see. I'll see you next year at Kenneck, man.
Rob, real quick. Since you're a Cyclone fan, can I bounce one off you here, man? Because very early on in the show, in fact, it was our very first caller that we had was talking about, Rocco Becht and Conradi, how when they started to move the football there in that fourth quarter and what ended up being the game-winning drive, but man, it felt like they got Rocco Becht and they got a kicker that can hit from 70 yards. There's a confidence that's building with that. And we've always talked, Travis and I have talked about that Hilton magic is nothing more than you've seen it happen. You've seen the Cyclones come back and win, and you're comfortable when the Cyclones are at home and they're down by 10 with 5 minutes to play. You know they're going to win that game. I feel like that same sort of, I'm not talking about Jack Trice magic, but yeah, you see what I'm saying here. Like there's a thing that there's a confidence that's got to be happening with this Cyclone team and this Cyclone fan base. This is not the first time. I mean, they even said it, Travis. I think this now is the 4th or 5th time that Rocco Becht has had essentially a game-winning drive in the 4th quarter.
He is. Here's another one. He is now 6-1 in one-possession games over the last 2 years. 6-1 in one-possession game.
That builds a confidence not only within the fan base but also within the team. And I just, Rob, I'm wondering if that checks.
Yeah, I agree. To have a quarterback that there is confidence with Rocco. There's without a doubt. You get a freak play, that tip pass. I heard other callers talk about. I get it. That's clearly a game changer. If that doesn't happen, frankly, Iowa goes down and scores and wins. I mean, it would be my thought. But there is confidence. I mean, he's solid. And I'll tell you what killed us last year. If you look at him last year, I don't want to make this an Iowa State call, but Rocco threw a lot of pick sixes. I would argue he probably threw more than anybody in the country. This year he hasn't turned it over yet. I mean, 3 games. I mean, intercepted. I think that's huge. So yes, there is a lot of confidence, and I can understand it. I thought we didn't open it up a lot today, but maybe coaches know more than me. But no, typical game. This is what I expected. I would certainly, we all would have taken the under, and clearly it was below under. So
thanks, Rob.
Yeah,
that's a good call.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely. And hey, Travis, just I know you've got kids that went to both schools, but my daughter went to Marion, so go Marion.
Oh, go Crusaders! Thanks, appreciate it, Rob. 515-517-2303. We've got 2 lines open, maybe 3 lines open. Sandy and Ginger Bush are going to be up first when we come back. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout, and we'll be back. So don't go anywhere. It's the Rush Radio Show live from the Iowa Lottery Studios.
With the new Blackout Scratch ticket from the Iowa Lottery, you can win the game day experience of your dreams.
That'll be $5.
Enter for a chance to win a VIP experience cheering on the Hawkeyes from the Ironman Suite at Kinnick Stadium.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on therushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.
Welcome back to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. Iowa loses to Iowa State in the Cyhawk game, 16-13. Here's how you can make your day better. Support the Iowa Lottery. Go get yourself a Powerball ticket. It's at $1.8 billion. Let me repeat that again. $1.8 billion. Still time to get your tickets today, Ross.
Yeah, I've already done that. Got in on the group buy again. Didn't buy my own tickets. I didn't win last time. Waste of money. But now we're talking about some real cash.
Real cash. Also, go ahead and purchase some Iowa Blackout scratch and win tickets. Lots of prizes up for grabs there. And if you don't win, it's part of the Play It Again promotion. Become a VIP, enter your non-winning tickets, and you could get yourself a trip to see the Iowa Hawkeyes play at Kinnick Stadium. It's all part of the Iowa Lottery promotion, and more coming up about that. We got 3 lines. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Carlson's got a great idea. He's one of whatever stream he's watching. He's got 2,500 people. We got about 5,000 people, a little more than that, watching total right now. 5,600 right now are watching total. Carlson's got a great idea. If we all chipped in, just everybody Venmo him $5, and we're like guaranteed to win.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Just say
I tried.
515-517-2303. I don't know where this is going to go, but we'll see where it goes. Sandy and Ginger Bush.
I thought it was
the
going
Black
to
and
be
Gold.
I'm waiting for that one.
Thanks for having us, T-Dog and Ross. Hope you're having a
T-Dog.
great day. The Hawks were very disappointing today.
Yeah.
Although you're making radio great again, the Hawks are not making football great.
Very disappointing. I'm no accountant. This is Ginger B, by the way. I'm no accountant. But the amount of money that this Gronkowski, whoever kid's making, he's really not really showing up to make this money.
All right. Can we let's talk for a minute about the money thing, Travis? Maybe this is something we should do after we get Sandy and Ginger off the hotline here. But do we know how much money this guy is making? And does that really? It does seem to have a big impact on people. This is the second or third time that somebody's brought it up, because I wanted to bring it up earlier. There's this thing the story came out today, by the way, from Deloitte, where Deloitte basically said, oops, we made a huge accounting error. Have you seen this, Travis?
No, I haven't seen this.
They had a report last week that said we've already approved $70 million in NIL deals through Deloitte. They came out today and said, oh, yeah, you know what? Big time accounting error. We've only approved $30 million.
How are you $40 million off?
And how have you only approved $30 million if every quarterback I'm hearing has a multi-million-dollar deal? So something's not right.
We got to get down to this, fellas. We got to figure this out, because I want that job. Give me. It's the equivalent of being a meteorologist. Yeah, pretty much.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah. You know who else we brought with us? Sharon and Grandma Bush. Sharon's here. Hey, boys.
Hey, Sharon.
My first time on.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah. Lots of good things going on for the Bushes this week compared to the game. We got some new bushes being proposed to, and we're bringing a brand new baby bush into this world. We were at a baby shower today, so I much would have rather have been there than watching the game.
Well, and we learned from I believe who was it from Boone, Ross, that called John
Yep.
from Boone said he's marrying his son is marrying him
into the Bush billions. He said,
Yeah, that's happening.
And he
it's
said,
happening, fellas. You guys should come.
Well,
you might get an invitation.
we could do a show live from the Bush compound in Kennebunkport.
Yes, we need to do that.
And we heard you.
My girlfriend says I can't be around Sharon Bush.
John's over at fire convention, putting up. Oh, let's bring Grandma Bush here.
Hello.
Hi, Grandma.
Grandma Bush. First of all, I have to admit, I know no more about football this year than I did last season. But I'm telling you, this supervising these Bushes is getting harder and harder. They are a wild bunch.
Are they not a chip off the old block, Grandma?
Well, some credit for that. I know someone who maybe could, though. But anyway, I will talk to you again on down the road.
All right, Grandma.
Boys, we got to talk more about this. We got to talk more about this money. I mean, it's a whole cinder block, don't clock it type of thing. We got to figure out what's going on, and I want this job. I want this job. I think I can throw a ball. I need this.
You want the starting quarterback job at the University of Iowa?
Yeah, why not? $50 a yard.
Good way to look at it.
I mean, even if I could get a few yards, I mean, I'd be up. I'd be able to pay off my kids' college. We'd be set.
Well, you're going to give us a Go Hawks, or before we let you go, you're going to give us your sign off?
Right before
before we leave. Hold on. We're going to put Bush out.
Okay.
Let's go!
It was like a foghorn in the back. Did you hear that?
I did.
Then they moved to chairs. I mean,
so if you're new to watching or listening to the show, Ross and I are on Monday through Friday from 6A to 8A Central Time. That's why you need to hit subscribe or download the TuneIn app or the Rush Radio Android app so you can listen in your car. But Ross, I think I'm going to reach out to Brad Heinrichs and say, hey, we got a lot of questions about money. And
great idea.
Because Brad with the Swarm Collective, who's a very good friend of the show, he's been very good to us. He's been very honest with us. At least I feel that he's been very honest with us. So he's the one who's in charge of finding a lot of this money that goes to players. And they've invested heavily in quarterbacks the last 4 years. You know, with Cade McNamara, I guess 3 years. Cade McNamara, and then now Mark Gronowski. Do you feel, I mean, you know it's a gamble. There's no guarantees. But do you feel you're getting the return on investment that you're giving?
The answer's got to be hell no. The answer has to be hell no. But again, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's think this through. And Brad would be a great one to have on. And if we got more callers, I'd love to bring them in. Maybe not. Maybe the idea is, and Brad Heinrichs is a brilliant guy.
Brilliant.
And money is different to everybody. I think Brad's response to this would be more in the line of this. What return? What are you wanting? What do you want? What are you wanting? Put that into, like, define that for me. Because I think they probably got what they paid for, meaning a guy that would go out there and do what Ginger Bush wants to do, and that's take the snaps and take the money. Or did you bring in the quarterback because you wanted to win a Big Ten title?
Here's what I want, Ross. I want a quarterback that's going to win the Big Ten title. If you're going to go out and invest, I want to win the Big Ten title. And I don't want you to hit your peak in the last 3 games of the season when you've lost other games and you can't win said Big Ten title.
Yep.
I want somebody's going to step in, and that's where the transfer portal is going to be hard to make this thing happen. What did Rocco Beck do? He came in as a freshman and learned the system and earned his starting position and has stuck with him. Now, Brett Bloom has told us, hey, they had to work to keep him. The money was flowing towards Rocco Beck, but they found a way to keep him. This is why I like, you should get paid for what you've done, not on and with said team, not just a wing and a prayer from an FCS program. And I don't want to pick on Gronowski too much yet. I mean, we've got 10 games to go. But through first 2 games, the stock dipped.
Dude, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. And you've got to watch the games. I get that. You have to watch each play. And no doubt that this week was better than last week when you look at each play. He kept plays alive. There were a few times. I mean, I don't like the fact that he had 16 runs. If you're going to have 16 runs as a quarterback, 16 carries, man, I want it to be some dynamic plays in there. There were a few good plays that he kept alive and kept his feet underneath him. Travis, listen to this line, man. I keep looking at other stuff, so I get off the box score. I apologize. 13 of 24 with an interception, 83 yards. That's the type of line that gets a guy benched. That's the type of line that usually in college football, you look at it and go, well, we can't win if the quarterback's going to play like that. And we have smart Hawkeye football fans that look at it and go, hey, you know what? It was a hell of a lot better than last week. What? That's why you go, wait, we paid how much for this? Because like when Kluver came on and he was like, oh, dude, this wasn't Deacon Hill. It wasn't far from it. It wasn't far from the quarterback performances that we have looked at and said, man, it's not fair to Coach Parker that he has to coach with this. And but that's where our threshold is, I guess.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Des Moines. That's where Jim is. Jim, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on?
Hey, Grandpa Travis, how long have you been a grandpa?
I've been a grandpa now 4 weeks, a little over, almost 5 weeks.
Was it a boy or was it a boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Man, you have girls. You have girl sperm, man. Have boys instead,
You
sir.
didn't have this baby, dude.
Who answered the phone? That's my son.
Oh, that was your son. Oh, your son's cool. I know, but you're 1 for 3. That's not very good odds for having girls.
Oh,
You would have, but
What'd you think of the
have
Hawks
you
today,
ever
Jim?
met Bruce Campbell?
Bruce Campbell.
You mean Matt Campbell?
Ross, you got, yeah. Oh, okay, Matt Campbell, Bruce Campbell. He's a butthead. Can we say asshole on the radio?
Matt Campbell?
He's not a butthead.
He's an asshole.
Why?
No,
Why do you say that?
And one of the statements after they played after they played the Hawkeyes, he said there was 2 teams playing against each other, the Hawkeyes and the referees.
He said that today?
Yeah, in one of his posts, he said the referees. He was playing 2 teams out there. He said that.
Okay, first of all,
It was on
if he said
Hawkeyes.
that, Jim, if he said that doesn't make him.
He did say that.
Okay. I don't know. I'll believe that he did. That doesn't make him an asshole. Makes him
Yeah,
say.
I think he's a big old asshole.
Oh, Jim.
And when are you going to leave your boyfriend for the week in September where you go fishing?
It's and I'm not going to leave my boyfriend. I'm going to take the Starlink with me. Ha ha ha. How about that?
No, Travis is your boyfriend.
I figured that was the joke, Jim.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I am heading up
Okay,
to.
When are you going?
He's going in 2 weeks.
Couple weeks.
515-517-2303. John, you're back from New Jersey. Just you don't have to add anything, or you do.
I don't.
Yeah, I got you. No. I mean, you don't have
do
to.
or I don't?
You do, but you don't have to pontificate as long.
Correct.
Okay.
So you made a comment where you were like, the money that we're spending, is that just to be good enough so that Ginger Bush and Sandy Bush can be just as effective, $1,000 a yard, or are we paying money for a Big Ten title? If I were to read the responses, that was my back and forth with Tyler on Twitter, and he spouted off, but I put him in his place and he never responded after 5 back and forth. My question is, 8-4 for him is a success. And he says the loss in 2014 stung. I tend to remember games that stung just as badly for fans, and those we still remember those. What's our goal? Is it just to be good enough, or are we competing for titles? That's my question, and that's what this all comes down to. I think the fan base needs to ask the question: are we competing for championships and spending the money for it, or are we just we're content with being average and mediocre, and 8-4 is good enough? I'll never be that way. I've been this way for 20 years. I'm not an extremist. It's what it is, guys.
John, here's the deal. Unfortunately,
it's 6 and 6, 7 and 5, 8 and 4. I think it's bullshit.
John, here's the deal. It's going to be different for everybody. And I think you and I fall in the same line that we want them to compete for Big Ten championships. But it's going to be different for everybody.
I think it's going to be different for everybody too, but I think it's based on your age level and what your expectations are and what your background was. If it's a player, you know the schemes and how much you put in and out, and week in, week out, day in, day out for 5, 6 straight years. So that way you're going to give Kirk Ferentz some rope because he's your boy. If I've been here 42 years and I've been through Hayden Fry and I've been through Kirk Ferentz and we've averaged 8-4, that for me is the floor, not the ceiling. It's the expectation because that's the average. But for people that are Gen Xers or younger boomers, they remember the Bob Cummings years. Thank you, Sandy and Ginger Bush. And you remember how bad it was. But that's not what I'm not comparing the 60s and 70s. I'm comparing to the last 50 years. And in an NIL era, I think we have the means. Iowa State is going broke, and they are in trouble in 5 years with how they're spending money. But they're spending money to win a title. When are we going to get our head out of our ass and spend the money in order to compete like they are? We're getting passed up by them, the Big Ten West with Michigan State and Wisconsin a decade ago, and now we're seeing Arizona State and Indiana pass us up because we can't find wide receivers, running backs, and quarterbacks that are developed because we're running an offense that was passed by a decade ago. And yeah, I'm with everybody else. I love what Kirk has done, but we're closer to the end of the line than we are to the beginning. And it is what it is. Hayden Fry left the cupboard bare at 3-8. What's Kirk Ferentz going to leave it at? I think we're seeing the beginning of the end.
I don't think it's going to be as bad
And
as
that's it. And
I don't think it's going to be as bad as what Hayden Fry left it. I don't.
I don't think it will either, but I think we're seeing you either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And apathy is starting to set into the fan base, and I'm afraid he's going to be Fran McCaffrey if he's not careful.
Thanks, John. Appreciate the phone call, man.
Thanks, guys.
515-517-2303. Let's go to James in Ankeny. James, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush in the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's up?
How we doing, boys?
Good.
Well, better than me. I need to see the boys in Black and Gold pass the ball vertically, not horizontally. I think that's what's killing the Iowa offense. We need to throw the ball vertically, not horizontally. Thoughts?
Well, I mean, we've been saying that a lot of the show, but the problem is the receivers can't get any separation. And, Gronowski went to vertically, I think 2 or maybe 3 times today. And it took him to the third quarter to do that. I'm with you, but that's something we've been saying for the last several years. Unfortunately, they can't create separation. There's nobody there to go vertical with.
Correct. But I do think once you said you had the second half, they called in or they started throwing that ball deep. The first half, they did not. I think if we're more aggressive in the first half, I think we can. Do you not think that?
I don't know if they can go deep. That's the problem.
Sam Phillips seems like a pretty good wideout for him.
So I think Gill.
I could be wrong.
Gill had 5 catches today, 52 yards. His longest is 22.
With a drop.
Yeah.
Big drop. Yeah. I just think we need to start stretching the ball out a little bit more vertically versus horizontally. Once again, I think that comes back to scheme and not wanting to take shots deep. Once again, a Ferentz thing. Love the guy to death. I'll die on his sword. But once again, he needs to get more aggressive on the offensive side of things.
I'm back, Trav. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Thanks, James. Appreciate it.
Yep.
James.
Yep.
I mean, he was talking about going vertical, Ross. I don't know if this team can go vertical. How long have we been saying this team should go vertical with its passing game?
For 15 years, 12 years. And like when Tyler says there's some recency bias. We had Kluver on last hour. He says there's recency bias there. Okay, 5. For 5 years, we've been saying, what the hell's the problem? We need to get a receiver. So we'll go to the transfer portal. We're going to get this 5-star kid from Ohio State. He is going to change. All right, so now we've got this Reese Vanderzee. He's 6'3". He's going to change. You know what we'll do? We'll go get a quarterback that's won a national title. And none of it changes. This is the comment I was making earlier last hour. Like these conversations have transcended several different coordinators. The number of talent that's come through the quarterback room that we always make these excuses for. Not excuses that we always place the blame on. The number of quarterbacks that have come to that room that we've looked at and gone, this guy sucks.
515-517-2303. I'm going to do something different today. I'm going to take our final commercial break, but come back with more calls because I want to just to make sure people get to see the ads. But Chad and Council Bluffs stay on hold. Dirk and Ankeny stay on hold. We got another call coming in. We got one line open at 515-517-2303. It is the Black and Gold Rush, not powered by, in the Iowa Lottery Studio.
She's on the 17, the 45, the 29, and she scores big cash prizes from the Iowa Lottery by matching her numbers to the winning numbers on the new Iowa Blackout Scratch Ticket. Now she's entering for a chance to win an Ironman Suite experience at Kinnick Stadium, plus other fun VIP prizes. That's the best touchdown dance I've ever seen. Make the biggest play of the season today. Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time homebuyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on therushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.
Welcome back to the Black and Gold Rush, live from the Iowa Lottery Studios. Iowa State over Iowa today. 16-13. Ross, my daughter Abigail, is watching down in Water Valley, Mississippi, but she's also watching the SEC network because Ole Miss is playing, and she works at Ole Miss. The SEC network just called the Cy-Hawk game the best rivalry in college football. She was kind of shocked by that, and it's all hyperbole. Everybody's rivalry is the best, and today's game was a rivalry game. I'm not putting it up there with Ohio State and Michigan. I'm not putting it up there with Auburn, Alabama. I mean, it's a great rivalry. I don't know if I would call it the best in college football.
I no perspective on that, dude. I've spent my whole life right here. Interesting that they would say that. That's an interesting comment from that network. But again, that's in broadcasting, man. You throw that hyperbole out there all the time. So
515-517-2303. Let's go to Council Bluffs. That's where Chad is. Chad, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on?
Oh, hey, not much. Hey, I think we just got to look at reality. I think you guys hit the nail on the head. We've had some really good playmakers at Iowa. You had Caleb Brown, Charlie Jones, back in the day, Clinton Solomon. I think the one common denominator is Kirk Ferentz. He's done great things. But I think until that move is made, there's a perception we cannot get the people nowadays to stretch the field. And one of you said it earlier, we can't go downfield, which is true. So I think I would like to know your thoughts if Beth would make a move after this year, regardless if Kirk wants to, because I think we're at a point now where no matter what he does, we cannot recruit high-quality quarterbacks or receivers to have that part of the offense opened up. So people are just going to continue to load the box. And the offense, no matter the coordinator, no matter the quarterback, no matter the receivers, it's going to be the same. So do you think Beth would make a move, or is that – I just hate to see this season as a waste, but I think it's just get him the record, and I think we got to make a decision. And I'll listen to you guys' thoughts.
Thanks, Chad. Appreciate it.
Two things to have, two conversations. The first one is a very quick answer. The first conversation, Travis, the first question is Beth Getz going to fire Kirk Ferentz? No, is the resounding hell no. Unless he wins a game 2-3, something like that this year. Then you have that conversation possibly about Beth Getz having that sort of clout to do that. But I don't see a world that Beth Getz has. So it's just got to be a time that Kirk Ferentz says it's time to go. So that takes us to the second part of the conversation. Do you think it's time for Kirk Ferentz to step away from Iowa?
I thought this in 2014. Then they had 2015, and things went well, and you change your mind. I don't know, Ross. I mean, the truth is, I'm going to say no. It's because.
How about let me change the question for you then? Okay. What do you want from Iowa football?
I want to be in the conversation. I want to be in the conversation like Iowa State is in the conversation right now.
I want to be relevant. I want to be relevant on a national level.
Yes. Not, hey, you're good. I want to be, you're great. And even if you didn't make it, this is still here's what I like about Iowa. It doesn't matter. It's going to be Penn State, you're going to have to line up and play Iowa. What I want is when you get into a situation like we were in today, you got the ball with 1:59 left, you're 3 points behind, and you want to have full confidence that you can march down the field and get in field goal range.
Yeah,
when they got the football today, I'm like, it's not going to happen.
I remember thinking to myself, we ain't built for this.
No. And you want to be built for that.
Yeah. The offensive line's doing their job. Gronowski's back there running from hash to hash to hash to hash. He had 30 seconds to throw the ball. I mean, that's hyperbole. Again, greatest rivalry of all time. But he had
a lot of time, though.
A lot of time back there, and then couldn't get it downfield and couldn't get the ball. Just couldn't release it. And when he did not able to. So I think the questions are that. What do you want? What do you want from Hawkeye football? Because if you want to be national champions, I don't think Kirk Ferentz is going to get you there.
I would agree with that.
If you want to be relevant, if you want to be talked about, if you want to be in the conversation, Kirk Ferentz has kept you there.
And the only conversation about being relevant right now, and listen, he's done our show, and he was gracious enough to come on our show. The most relevant thing about Iowa football right now is that Kirk Ferentz is in his 27th year at Iowa. It's the stability the program has had. And you got to appreciate stability. Listen, I live in Omaha, Nebraska. I live right next door to a program that was at the top of the college football world, and it hit irrelevance quickly. So there is something about stability that matters. We're talking at Nebraska, they had 3, 4 athletic directors, several different head coaches. You don't want that.
You dream of the stability that Iowa has had.
Absolutely. 515-517-2303. Let's go to Dirk and Ankeny. Dirk, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios.
Hey, fellas.
What's up,
Dirk? So, kind of gone through the 7 stages of grief with y'all. So I think I'm at acceptance and hope right now because I can look my 3rd and 4th graders in the eye tomorrow and say, we run a Big Ten offense. Off tackle right, off tackle left, no pass routes more than 5 yards. We got this, boys.
I like it. That's the right message, Coach.
Very good message. You must be a good teacher. And by the way, Thanks for teaching. That's not an easy job.
Right. Hey, they grow every day. So
good.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Dirk. Appreciate it. 515-517-2303. Let's go to Bon Durant. That's where Bill is. Bill, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery.
Hey, boys. How's it going?
Very good.
Good. Let me tell you, first and foremost, good to hear you guys.
Thank you.
KXNO made a big mistake letting you guys go. That station.
Well, they let Ross go. They
fired me. Travis was just nice. If we didn't fire him,
you left on your own merit, but what a travesty. And
I stood up and said, "Who's coming with me? Who's coming with me?" And everybody put their heads down. And Travis said, "I'm dumb enough to come with you."
I'm like Renee Zellweger and Jerry Maguire. Who's coming with me?
Yeah.
You had me at hello,
exactly.
Ross.
Love you guys. And that place is. I mean, you came and turned it the dial to that station without cringing. So
I'm sorry to hear.
Glad you guys got your own station now. But now I want to talk about the Hawks.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's go. Hey, what'd the Little Giants do? You know that show, The Little Giants?
They ran the annexation of Puerto Rico.
And that's exactly what they did. They ran plays that made people think they were doing something that they weren't really doing. And that's what the Hawks should do. Just because they don't have the players to run a fly route doesn't mean they should not run the fly route. Why would you not run a fly route and throw the ball 40 yards over the player's head to create some space, right? Doesn't mean we can't run fly routes and create space. So let's if we're only doing that 1 or 2 times a game, that's a bad move. If we can go ahead and create space, create illusion. I mean, right now we're just running the same plays, and I get it. I love Kirk, just like everybody else does. I'm not calling for anybody else. Kirk can coach till the end, but we need a little bit of surprise, right? So let's throw a flyer out, throw it 40 yards over his head, first down, whatever we need to do, but we can do it there, right? What do you think?
And do it against UMass. Just come out, in play action,
flea flicker.
Right. Statue of Liberty. Let's run it.
I was actually thinking of that at one point during the game. Just come out and do something that they're not expecting you to do.
Like when they had to kick off with like 30 seconds left in the first half, onside it.
Something or look what happened when they went long the first time. The first time they went vertical today, they got a pass interference call because they weren't expecting it. Now, this team can't do it all the time. I get it. But you have to use an element of surprise. You have to. The game has changed. The game today is different than when Kirk Ferentz started 27 years ago at Iowa. It just is.
That's 100%. All I wanted to say is, we might not be able to get the best. We might not be able to get the most athletic, but doesn't mean we can't send 4 straight down the field and give her a heave, and then all of a sudden that bottom end opens up for a little flea flicker, or maybe even a stretch run, or give them a little outside pass there and stretch the field.
Coach Flagg throws in the hook and ladder, the fumble-rooski.
Fumble-rooski. Can't go wrong with the fumble-rooski. Go to the single wing for a little bit. Just hey, line up in the single wing.
Hey, we ran that. What? And I'm gonna have to hear it 100 times before I remember what it was called. The little delayed RPO that we saw, where they kind of run up. They called it like delayed mesh or something. I remember.
Yeah. I mean, he held on to the ball for it seemed like an eternity. It's like I'm like
every time I was like, yeah.
You know what was weird? I actually thought like the Iowa State line, is the play dead? I actually thought the play was dead for a second.
Up. Yeah. Remember, Travis, when
that delayed handoff, it surprised me. I looked at my friend Jimmy and I said, "Hey man, is that even a real play?" I thought the play was dead. I'm like, if the most surprise that the Iowa offense can give you is a delayed handoff, hey, so be it. But we need more surprises like that. So,
Bill, what did Jimmy think?
Hawks can't win.
What did Jimmy think about the Hawks today, Bill?
Oh, he was mad, man. He drank he shotgunned 3 Busch Lights, and then he grabbed his half open bottle of spiced rum and he started pouring it down his throat, followed by a Coca-Cola. And I was like, oh my God, Jimmy, you're gonna be in trouble. And then I was like, well, if you do that, then Derek from New Sharon is going to be pretty pissed off because you're going to be the drunkest person in Iowa.
Oh, Bill, thanks. Appreciate it. 515-517. Love you too, man. 515-517-2303. Let's go to Boone. That's where Steve is. Steve, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios.
Well, guys, it's me again.
Who's
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Steve?
You sound drunker than the last time.
Drunker than the last time. We haven't talked to a Steve.
Anthony Beck is going to be the next offensive coordinator for Iowa.
So he believes Rocco Beck's dad, who's the head coach of St. Louis, is going to be the next offensive coordinator at Iowa.
He's the head coach at St. Louis?
Amen.
Okay.
And then, so what you're going to tell me then is, because Rocco's going to be a senior, Iowa's going to get Rocco Beck in the transfer portal.
They can't afford him.
There's good.
They don't like to pay their quarterback.
They don't like to pay their quarterback.
As you can see with Gronkowski or whatever.
I love it. Everybody calls him Gronkowski.
All right, Steve. Thanks for the phone call, man. He's gonna die on that hill. He's gonna be like,
Oh, is he, that's I must have missed it. Did
He
Steve
called
call
last
it?
week. He called last week.
Okay, and said the same thing?
Yeah.
I don't remember this. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I'll go back to my notes. Apologize. Oh, wait. Yeah, I do remember Steve. He's also the one that threw Tyler under the bus last
Yes.
week. Okay. All right. Now I'm on to it, Steve. Sorry. Had to check the notes from last week. Now I see it.
Oh. Full of heartbreak today, Ross.
On 2 hours. Listen. Another
Well-
we took 25 calls.
Oh, no. Let's make it 26.
Okay. All right.
Jim in Des Moines. Jim, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's up?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Not a problem.
Hey, Travis, do you remember last week after the first game on the weekly show, your daily show, you were talking about how the Hawkeye sound off format, you were disappointed that they went non-local and they're doing it out of Cedar Rapids.
Yeah.
Well, you know why that is because they didn't want to get their asses kicked by you guys. How embarrassing would it be for a 50-year tradition to get beat out in number of calls and the ratings by the new guys with their startup whatever you call it.
Listen, here's the deal. I'm going to go full Dabo Sweeney here. We're just a little old internet radio station. That's
Little
all we
Rush. Just little old Rush.
that's all we are. A little over an internet radio station.
And you guys have been pretty hard on Gronowski, but you know what? His production increased by almost 100% today over game one.
Go to the analytics.
They always say the most improvement is made from week 1 to week 2.
That's true. Way to look at that's a good way to end our phone calls, Jim. Is that a little positivity? Looking at the data analytics, going, we had 100% improvement.
Yeah, it's probably more like 96. I didn't do the calculation, but it's got to be close to 100%.
Good stuff. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Always looking at the positive. Always looking at the positive. That was fun.
On 2 hours there. Flew
Well,
right by. A lot of calls.
I tell you what, a lot of calls, a lot of comments, a lot of listeners. Just remember, Ross and I are on Monday through Friday, 6A to 8A at therushradio.com, on the Rush Radio Android app, on the TuneIn app, on YouTube, on X. We're easy to find on Facebook. So if you like what you heard today, hopefully you did, you'll like us during the week. At least we hope you do. You know, we're a bunch of hopers. So just know that you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, give the video a like, follow us on X, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. For Ross Peterson, I'm Travis Justice. We'll see you Monday on the Rush Radio Show and next Saturday on the Black and Gold Rush after Iowa takes on UMass right here at therushradio.com. Bye-bye, everybody.